Oh, Billy's truck is blocking me in here. Kinda. I go around them. This driveway's really narrow at the end, so gotta be careful you end up in a deep ditch. But, so what I've been doing all morning, it is Friday, the day before New Year's Eve. What I've been doing all morning is putting together a recap video of 2022 and my season and my year as a whole. Now, I haven't done one in a couple years. I used to do them all the time and you guys used to love them and you'd ask me for them, but for whatever reason I haven't done one. So this is going to be a long video. It was a little over 8 hours of video I started with, and I got it down to 52 minutes. This right here, of course, will make it a little bit longer, but for any of you that want to stick around and watch it with nothing else to do for an hour, this is going to be our year, our season in review. So a lot of things that come about through this year. As a lot of you know, a lot of it started off really bad for me 2 weeks before Christmas. At the end of 2021, I went through a separation with my wife, and it put me in a big state of depression for most of the winter. It was bad. I ended up with some medical conditions as a result of it during it, and now they still linger with me that I will now have for the rest of my life. There's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is, but medically, I'm in a great place right now. You know, physically, mentally, emotionally, I'm in a really good place. Probably the best place I've ever been in. That hasn't come without some setbacks. I almost lost the business over the winter because I was messed up and wasn't doing things that I should be doing. Wasn't billing my customers, wasn't answering customers, wasn't taking care of things I should be. So 10 years of business that I built up quite an extensive amount to a phenomenal business. I almost lost it all. So, but now, as a result of everything in my mindset and getting myself on track, I have turned 2022 into the best season by far that we have ever had in our lives. With our personal lives and with the business, it has just grown to tremendous amounts. So I've learned a lot of things along the way. We all have. I've learned definitely not to trust people that you think you should trust, and I've learned that some people in this world are just shitty people, and they're going to be who they're going to be, and there's nothing you can do about that. But I've concentrated on myself, had a couple setbacks, overcame that, and so this, in recap, is our 2022 season. So I hope you guys enjoy this. There's going to be some music in a few parts of it. There's going to be some parts of the video that I left as they were when I originally made the videos. You're going to hear some talking and stuff like that. But I'm going to do a lot of voiceover, a lot of narration through this video, just kind of covering certain points. But every single clip that you see in this video are clips from full-length videos that are all still in my library for, I believe the folder is Mowing 2022. So you will see, or Long Hair 2022, however I have them labeled, but you can go watch the full videos of any of these clips anytime you want. They're all still up there. I don't take my stuff down. So if you guys want to see the full things of them, if you haven't already, for those of you that have been following me all along, it finally got us over, this year we went over 20,000 subs. Very thankful and appreciative to all of you that have made that happen for us. It's been great. It's been a wild ride for sure, and we're geared up to go into 2023 with even more new contracts, and it's going to be amazing. Just going to be amazing. So a lot of things coming up in the future. I will stop talking now until you get in this video and I do my narration, my voiceover through this video. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for a phenomenal year. Thank you guys for everything you've done for us, all the support you've given us. And let's get into this video. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for a great season. We couldn't have asked for better by far in our personal lives and business. We just couldn't have asked for a better year. So thank you, truly. It is Sunday morning and here we are in the shop. It's about 9:30, I think. And we got a little bit of something going on today. And it was something I wasn't even expecting, and I didn't even plan on it or expecting to do it, but it's happening. So let me show you what it is. All right, so I told you guys in a little bit this morning that somebody's coming, another YouTuber that is buying this mower. And he did buy this mower, and a lot of you guys might have thought that that would have been Ken from KLC, but I wouldn't sell him my recycling, so that it definitely is not Ken. But this is Brandon from Burns Hunker. Where you're
I'm in Eastern Massachusetts.
That's right, Eastern Massachusetts.
Yep.
So I will put a link to his channel in the description of this so you guys can go and check him out. He does a lot of stuff with walkers. Somebody got him turned on to walkers at one point, so I'll let him share that.
This guy right here. So again, I'm Brandon from Burns Lawn Care. This is my lovely wife, Renee.
Hi.
We're a husband and wife team out of Eastern Massachusetts. This is my son, Brandon, and my daughter, Audrey. And I have been watching Randy for years. He actually got me into walkers and got me excited to run them. To be honest with you, at first, I hated these machines. And after seeing his videos, I started to understand the machines a little better. And after I started using them, I fell in love with them. Everything I know in regards to a walker is thanks to this man right here and Ken from KLC. You guys are great. I gotta be honest, you guys are awesome.
I appreciate it. You know, it's the same thing. You guys know my story. Brian from Top Notch is the one that got me into walkers. I swear I would never do it. And then once I got my first one and I ran it, you guys know the story. It's history from there. You guys aren't going back home.
No, so from here, I'm going to see my family in Florida.
Awesome.
So my initial plan was to go to Florida first and then come back here to buy the mower. But honestly, I was just so anxious to buy this thing and I wanted to meet you. So I decided, you know what, let's just make the trip to New York. Let's get this done. We'll stay a night in a hotel and then we'll go down to Florida to see my parents.
Yeah. That point, but
and you've done a great job at it, man.
well, thanks. I really appreciate it.
Keep those videos coming. We
I
love
will.
them.
I will for sure.
Every night in my house, we always turn the TV on, and we always hope to see a new video from Countryside. So it's just one of those. It's become our family ritual.
She's not telling you turn that garbage off.
No, she's super into it. I mean, she's into it just as much as me. We both quit our full-time jobs to do lawn care.
Yeah.
And we haven't looked back since. So.
What? Stop looking at me like that. Well aware I haven't put out a video lately. So here you go. So we might as well start this off with last January, I believe it was, when I backed into a truck and smashed the bumper on my truck and had to put a new bumper on. And there is the bumper from when I smashed it and I backed into another truck. But it was a pretty good winter, all in all, for 2022, and we got a lot of big storms. One big storm in particular, there was a 3-foot storm, and it just piled up on us really fast. So we got a lot of plowing in, made a lot of money plowing snow, which kept me busy, which I really needed to do because of the horrible things I was going through mentally and emotionally last winter, drowning myself out in my work, which you're gonna come to see in this video as I discuss more of the things we've done throughout the season. It was the only answer for me, and it's how I've always been. Whenever I'm dealing with a lot emotionally, my answer, my go-to has always been work myself to death. The more I work, the less time I have to sit around and think about things. So this is me plowing with that 8.5-foot Snow Dog V-blade that I got last year, and I love this blade. It's been great. I do prefer the straight blade with wings, but all in all, this has been a great snow plowing blade for me, and it's made me a lot of money, and it's definitely come in handy. I have no qualms about buying this blade, and I don't regret it a bit. But we went through the winter. It didn't last that long. Spring came up on us pretty quick. It was a nice welcome to have spring come. I hate winter, as many of you guys know. I'm not a fan of plowing snow. I do it to give myself something to do, so I'm not sitting around. And last winter, I definitely needed that. I definitely needed to keep myself busy, like I said. And the amount of snow was perfect. It definitely kept me going. I had a few winter projects to do in the shop. I never really got to any of them. I wasn't in the right mindset, and I didn't feel like doing it, so I didn't do a whole heck of a lot, which didn't do good for me mentally, emotionally, because I needed to stay busy. But when we did get all the snow, it definitely kept me busy and kept me out doing what I need to be doing, and that's concentrating on other things.
I was plowing by myself all winter last year. This winter here, going into this season, is the first year I've had help. I have Billy with his own plow. You see in the background there, that's Billy's truck. He bought it off me a couple years ago. He just didn't have his license, so it was always a backup truck to me. But so far with the 2 huge storms we've had this year, Billy has been plowing his own route, and I couldn't be happier or more impressed with what that kid's been doing. He took to it like he's been doing it for years. The last 2 storms I've had him plowing, I've had customers emailing me and texting me, telling me, wow, you guys did a great job. I don't know how you kept up with that storm. Pushed snow 4 or 5 feet back in the yard, so you kept the driveway or the parking lot wide open, and didn't even do any damage. So we just want to tell you that we're thankful for you and thankful you're doing a great job. And a few of them, a couple I just said thank you, we appreciate it, we try to do our best. But a few of them that have met Billy over the years and know him, I told them, like, yeah, that wasn't me. That was the boy that you're plowing. And they're like, wow, how long has he been plowing? And, I told them, this is his first year. He's really taken to it, and he's done a phenomenal job. So it's been nice to take some of the workload off of me as far as plowing snow. But this here was still the winter of 2022, last January, February, March, for the most part. And we just kind of went through it the best we could. He went out with me a couple times, but he didn't do any plowing. It was all me doing the plowing. And I was happy to get out of it and get into springtime. But, this is, any of you guys that know or been following for a while know that this is my shop. That whole parking lot you saw me plowing and across the front here. This is my shop, so it's a pretty much wide open area, and it's pretty easy to plow. So, still using the same truck this year. I've only put out a little bit of plowing. To be honest with you, I don't think I put out any videos of me plowing snow yet this year. There definitely will be plowing videos to come this winter. Everything's just been kind of a learning curve. We got a bunch of new contracts this year, new parking lots as far as the apartment complexes go, a whole bunch of new driveways, things like that. So my plan for this winter is to give Billy a camera, let him put it on his truck, let him record a bunch of the plowing that he's doing, and then I will also keep one in my truck. That way you guys will get footage from both of us. I should be able to put out a lot more videos as far as plowing snow, or I will do some combination videos and kind of go back and forth on the views from me to him. Stuff like that. But these clips here, these next couple clips you'll see, these are from a video I did, and I believe it was titled Cleaning Up People's Mistakes. So it was me going in and plowing for people that had already had somebody else plow them, and they just did a horrible job. Didn't clean things up, didn't widen the driveways out, kind of left snow in the worst places. So they called me in, and I went in and cleaned them up, which created new contracts for us. That one there that I just plowed, that is a current customer of mine, has been for years, but they always had someone else do their snow plowing. Now I do it, starting last year, and now still doing it this year, because they just got sick of the guy that they had. So now they're a year-round customer for me, like 90% of mine are. This here is an entrance way to the outdoor shooting range at my local conservation club, and they wanted to take the youth kids out there and do some shooting, but the people they have contracted to plow the big main parking lot, this isn't part of it. So I just went in and did it for them. I didn't even charge them for it, and I opened it up. I did it for them for free, and it was pretty deep, about 2.5, 3 foot deep in most of it, and I just got it all opened up for them. Now what I'd originally done in this video was I plowed this opening like this with the camera on the dash, and then I put the camera on the roof to plow the main stretch that goes all the way back to the shooting range. And at some point my camera had crapped out, it stopped recording. That was my GoPro Hero 7, which I've had for years. I currently do not use that camera much anymore. It decides to shut off whenever it wants to, so I pretty much gave up on that. But here's a roof view that I did last year of a driveway that I plowed. There's a few videos of me plowing this driveway. Most of it's all dash view where I had the camera, but then I did this part here with it right on the roof. So it just gave a different angle. I wanted to switch things up a little bit. I usually don't have time or even think about getting out of the truck to mount it to the mount that I have on the roof. But this was the day after a storm. Nobody lives in this house in the wintertime, so yeah, I can kind of get to it.
Look, everybody, it's Spencer. He's alive. Looking slim. You guys don't know the story because I haven't told you. But Spencer's looking good, and he's out of the house. And hasn't put up any video. Actually, you put up a video the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a couple brewing. I just got them trying to do with a copyright claim.
Really? On one you already put up?
No, I haven't. It's all uploaded, but I haven't posted yet. There's the copyright claim. I'm trying to dispute that.
Nice. For a song?
Background music. Yeah, radio's on.
I get them all the time. I got 2 of them in a row for a video I put up yesterday. But I clicked the thing to not monetize it while I was processing, so they hit me with one anyway.
So I got another one I'm working on.
This is the life of me and Spencer. We get copyright claims, and we both have tons of footage in the making that we haven't even gotten to yet. How many videos are you working on right now, Spencer?
About 3 or 4.
3 or 4 that you still have to edit and put together? Most of you guys should know who he is, but if you don't, it's under Bo, isn't it? The channel's Bo Enterprises. I'll put a link in the description of this video, but most of you guys should know who he is by now. But go check out his stuff if you haven't, and he just told you he's got a bunch of new stuff coming up, so. But now we're gonna eat, so goodbye. Good morning!
So this was when Connor and I decided to redo my open trailer, replaced all the brakes on it all the way around, everything from the pads to the electronic mechanism, the drums, everything. We painted the trailer and got it ready for the upcoming season. And then we went ahead and painted the whole bed and the frame and underneath of the dually, which desperately needed it. You guys know I painted the truck itself a couple years ago. This truck was also down for a year and a half, almost 2 years. Just wouldn't run right. I finally got it fixed, and you guys saw it back in some videos this summer. It ran great for about 2.5 months or so, something like that, 2.5 months, and then started having issues all over again. I have a guy that he had the same issues with the same truck, and he found a fix for it, a permanent fix, by changing out the distributor, and I believe I'm going to have him do that for me as well to this truck. I haven't yet given up on this thing, so you guys know I love this truck, and I'm just not ready to let it go yet. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we have it back.
And all I know is Yeehaw! You can't spray it. Oh wait, no, water's gonna get on the paint.
Yeah, don't spray it near the truck.
I'm gonna get the truck wet. Can't believe the smoke detectors aren't going off yet. Miss Paige, this is why your boyfriend's always so dizzy. Oh boy, what did he do? What did you do, Billy? Billy? What did you do? Great, Billy. Creating more stuff for us to fix.
Good morning.
I got the nose sniffles today. I'm hot. Are you hot, Clarice? I'm hot. There's a lot of paint. There's things going on here. There's stuff happening here.
Can't do that. This is a family channel.
You can't vape on a family channel?
No.
Hey, it's better than smoking the Chiba.
So, as I guys told you, we were painting. We painted the floor gray.
Needs another coat, or 3
Yes.
or 7, which we'll get to.
But she's slowly coming together.
So we finally break into spring cleanups, and we hit them full bore. We had a lot of them going. Me, Conrad, and Billy doing a cleanup here. This isn't one of our regular customers. It's just one we got called in for. But we had a lot of spring cleanups to do. Winter came rather quickly last year, and we didn't get all of our fall cleanups done. So some of them just turned into spring cleanups. No big deal. It happens every year. There's always a certain number of them you don't get to, and they just turned into spring cleanups. But it was still early in the spring season, and we just recently had snow, so the ground was way too soft to put the windstorm on them or to put the machine on and bagging them. So this one here, we just flew it up the driveway and then across the yard and right into the woods. 3 backpack blowers, we knocked it out. It was no big deal. But we ended up doing a few of them like this just because the ground was just way too soft. We were sinking from walking, so they were just way too soft to get on them with any piece of equipment. Sometimes that's what you have to do. That's just how it goes starting off in the spring season. But either way, we were more than happy to get out and be working outside after the winter we had. So it really wasn't that big a deal. And just doing anything besides being stuck inside was great for us. So it was definitely a nice spring cleanup season. This is a big church that we take care of, and me and Conrad knocked this one out. I believe we had Billy with us too on this one. And we were using those green bags like we use every year and pulling them behind the mower, loading them up with sticks and dragging them where we need to. They work great. We use them every year, and we'll continue to use them moving forward from here. It definitely helps.
So the next time that Randy goes to post a video, this clip better be in there. And if it's not, we might have some issues. But he's gone, and me and Mike are just kind of hanging out here and taking over the house and gonna party in the house. No, I'm just kidding. Food's done. And yeah, if he doesn't put this in the next video that we post, I'll make sure he does.
So this was a job I did for a local daycare, and we usually do a fall cleanup for them every year. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to do one this year. We never got to because of weather. We'll probably just do a spring cleanup for them. But they had this tree here and the bushes to the right of me and the bushes right behind me. They wanted them all ripped out. They didn't care about the stumps because we're not putting anything in the ground. They just wanted to cut down and disappear. So I went through them, got rid of them all. I went through a couple different chainsaws. I had to go back to the shop, get another chainsaw because I thought this one was good to go, and it just kept giving me problems. But I was supposed to have some help this day too. I believe Connor was supposed to help me, and I believe Billy was too. For whatever reason, neither one of them showed up, and I ended up having to do them by myself, which was no fun by any means. I definitely struggled with these to get them done. It's not so much struggle as in it was hard work. It's just I struggled with the chainsaws. They weren't working the way that I wanted them to. It just made everything a lot harder. And just getting in the spring, I was still having some bad days mentally, and I wasn't exactly where I needed to be at that point. So it definitely made for a crap day. But we got.
So it was definitely a smart move going to grab this Husqvarna. It definitely allowed me to finish that up faster and easier. But the chain is dull on that thing too. So at the end there, it really fought me to get that last stump out.
So in the beginning of the season, we used the tractor here, and we had a few jobs that we had to do. Conrad and I still doing some landscape cleanup and some spring cleanups. And there was just some of the yards we were finally able to start getting equipment on, which made things much easier and much nicer. It definitely helped out, but here you see us again using the green bag and just hooking it onto the back of the standers, or like in this case, Conrad had it sit on the windstorm and driving around, picking up sticks, fill the bag up, and then once we get them full, we either haul them away, dump them on site somewhere, or we can put them out at the road and the townships come in and pick them up. Definitely makes things easier for us, but it's better than hauling around wheelbarrows all day and filling them up, which fill up awfully quick, and then you got to constantly stop and dump. Whereas I believe every yard we have, we can get the entire yard done with one load of these bags. They're like $30 at Home Depot, if anybody's wondering. I've mentioned it in videos before, and we usually get 2 or 3 seasons out of one. So we have a couple of them. We always have a backup one. Sometimes if the yard's really, really big, we'll take both of them to the job, and then we'll both haul them around to it. But yeah, it definitely makes life easier. I highly recommend it to anybody that has big stick cleanups to do. It's just a game changer without a doubt. But this is another one that we're getting done that we didn't get to in fall. I mean, we got to it. There's me playing around the mower all the time. But another one we didn't get to in the fall. We had gotten all the leaves done, but then winter came and it just really started to get windy, like it does around here in the winter, and it just started dropping sticks everywhere. But then it snowed right after that, so there was no time to get to it and actually get the sticks cleaned up. So it just turned into a spring cleanup, which in that case you just charge for it in the spring when you do it. So it kind of delays things, and but it does provide work for us come springtime, and every once in a while there'll be residual leaves, like this is the other side of that property, and you know, sometimes the neighbors on certain properties don't do their leaves, so throughout the winter when it gets really windy, they all blow over on our customers, so you know, it essentially turns into a spring cleanup. So we mulch as many of them as we possibly can. The ones we have to bag, we do, but the way it works in my townships, and I've explained this to you guys many times before, in the fall, we usually just bag everything up or get the blowers out, the windstorm, whatever, get it all blown in the road, leave it in piles, and the townships come and pick it up. They do not do leaf cleanup come springtime, so any leaves that we do in the spring, we have to haul them all away or mulch them. So you guys know I prefer not to mulch if there's too many leaves, because then it just turns into a thick paste everywhere, which ends up killing the grass, or it lays a blanket over top of the grass, and it makes the grass susceptible to these things. So try to mulch up as much as we can if there's not too much. If there is, then we haul them away or blow them to wherever we can. If there's woods or something like that, we can blow them to on site. But either way, still just as happy to be back out working. Plowing my parking lot's all stone and millings, etc. So plowing it in the winter, like you saw in the beginning of this video, it pushes a lot of that up right here into the grass area. So every spring I just grab the machine and I back drag and pull it all back out. It does two things. One, it essentially makes my parking lot a little bigger each time. And two, it smooths it back out so that I don't have mountains of stone sitting all over the place. But it's no big deal. And, you know, who doesn't love playing around on a machine with a bucket anyway? So it's a lot of fun. And then we make sure that in the process we do have a little extra fun, which you're about to see here in a minute. Because if you're working and you're not having fun, then what's the whole point, right? You guys know that that's all we do is play around. And so, you know, Connor had his truck sitting over here, and I figured, oh, what the hell? He was over there mowing the grass for the first cut of the season. So I just kind of grabbed the ass end of his truck and lifted it up and waited for him to look over at me to see his truck was lifted up in the air. And eventually he does look over towards me, and you know, he sees what I'm doing there, and he just starts laughing too. And it was a lot of fun. We just kind of screwed around. And so I decided, you know what, while I have nothing here, let's just push it forward a little bit and play around, because that's what we do. You guys know about, you know, everything we do called shenanigans, and we have a lot of fun. But this is my 11-year-old Noah. He was still 10 at the time. He turned 11 in August. And he loves running anything he can run, whether it's a mower, piece of equipment, he don't care. And he takes to it very quickly, just like Billy does. He gets on something, you just show him the basics. He figures it out really quick. He is really good with this kind of stuff. He's definitely a hands-on kid, just like me and Billy. Very hands-on, picks up things really quick as long as he's physically doing it. And he definitely impressed me with this.
Sorry about your truck, Conrad. Gotta teach the kid how to do this. His back tires are off the ground. Lift it up again, Noah. Now drive forward. Now drive forward. Okay, that's far enough. Your wheels are off the ground. All right, put Conrad's truck down, leave him alone.
So here we are going into the first day of mowing for the season, and I got Billy and Conrad over here mowing, and man, just smiles everywhere on all of us being out here. We love mowing. That's 90% of, probably 80% of what we do. We definitely do a lot of landscaping. We did a lot more this year than we've done in years past, but mowing is our thing. It's what we love to do. We take a lot of pride in it, and we're really good at it. And come up with different ways of doing things all the time. And you spend a lot of money on equipment, especially mowers, because it's just what we like to do. So whatever makes our job easier and does a better quality job all the way around, and we have no problem spending lots of money on mowers just for that reason. But first week of mowing, first day of mowing right here is what these clips are from, and we just knocked it out, had fun. Some properties was barely anything cut, but any of you guys that mow grass or have been mowing grass for a period of time, after that first cut, it just it's like instigating the grass to grow. It is about the best way I can put it, because some of the lawns that are barely needing cut, you do that first cut on it, by the next week they've shot right up. It gets them going, and after that season is on. It's full bore. So this is a huge property we mow on our local reservation, and I've showed this to you guys time before, but that's all shingles and paneling that blew off this old barn. Every spring it's like that in the winter. There's pieces of it all over the place, but Billy knocking out the front, Connor knocking out the back, and then there's an entire whole side to it as well. But it is total of 4 acres, and we knock it out, and then here we are on to another property that's on that same day. I pretty much leave my routes the same every year. I might condense them a little more. Just, you guys know how I'm with route density, just make it tighter and tighter and tighter, and that's how we manage to mow over 160 properties a week, because our route density is insane. So, this is another property that's on that day, and same thing. It's getting warmer. You see the sweatshirts are coming off, and summer is definitely fast approaching. So as it always happens to work out, come springtime, we get so overwhelmed and so overloaded because grass is growing like crazy. Everything is, 7-8 inches a week in between cuts. That's on non-fertilized lawns. It's just how it is up here in the Northeast. So we called him back up, and here's Max came in to help us mow. I sent out 2 crews for a couple weeks. It was when Max could get days off of his other job. It'd be Max and Billy, and then me and Connor would go out, or else it'd be me and Billy and then Max and Connor. Either way, we're sending out 2 trucks every day, and we did that a lot this past spring because we had just gotten so far behind every week. We managed to get them all done. This was the first season since I've been in business. I had a couple weeks where I'd get done the end of the week and I didn't get all my properties done. It was very rare that it happened, but it did happen a couple times this year. It's never happened to me in the past, but like I said, we took on so much this year to work ourselves to death, like I said I wanted to do, and it definitely worked out for us as far as the business goes, and as far as all of us making a ton of money. It was phenomenal, and it was a great year, a lot of work, and we definitely struggled some weeks though to make it happen, but we definitely got through it, and I plan on doing the same thing going into this season. We're definitely cutting some accounts out that turned out to be a pain last year, and we're going to add some new ones in. I've already got those in the works. Some of them are already locked in for the year, but we're definitely going to cut some of the fat more or less, and we are going to just go right into the season, knock it out. These are the mulch carts that we made, and you will see, and there were videos of us using them, you will see. And like anything else, what you just saw was my guys playing around and being goofy. Billy and Connor, they decided after we were done building the mulch carts that they're going to take rides in them. But This is one of the apartment complexes we do. We have 15 yards of mulch here, and the easiest way to get them around, because everything was so spread out, was to use these mulch carts. It's actually what we built them for, and it turns out we end up using them on all of our properties throughout the season. But each cart will hold right about 1 yard of mulch, and it made it so much easier to get around to all of our flower beds. It made it easier on every property we did this year. So you can see the X mark there pulling one. I'm currently on the Toro pulling up with the other one, and I can just constantly haul one, drop it off, jump on the other one, take it back, fill it, and we kept doing that. We did it on every property, and it made life so much easier. I don't think we used a wheelbarrow all season long. It just made it really nice. And having this machine here, this isn't mine. I borrow it a lot during the summer. I can use it anytime I want from a friend of mine that has it. He doesn't own a business. It's just for his personal use. So that's what we did. And then here we are back into mowing again. We pretty much worked 7 days a week last year. This is the V-Ride 1 I ended up giving to Noah. And but here's Max mowing on it. It was non-stop. You can see the growth, and that's just from 1 week of cutting.
All right, hey, okay, baby. Good morning, folks. How's it going? All right. Anyways. Okay, so Billy was just mowing. Hold up. We got both pressure. So I was just mowing along, and I was supposed to record some stuff in the back. And so I made my perimeter pass, and I was about to go around and start mowing and show you guys some stuff. I get a call and I'm like, oh Lord, he's calling me, what the crap? And this is what I get. Haha. Oh shiznit. Oh man, right to the right. Let's park her up here. What did this guy do?
I was coming down the hill full bore, it started to slide. There was no turning, no going back, and it literally stopped the mower dead.
So as you just saw, that was me burying a mower in that front yard. There's an underground well that runs right there. We do a bunch of properties in this neighborhood, all multi-million-dollar houses, and I hit it. And I should have known better, but I buried the mower right in it. If you watched that whole video when I put it out, the customer didn't care. They were more concerned that I was okay, because they saw me going fast down that hill and they saw it stop dead, and they were more concerned with me than anything. But the customer is completely cool over it. This is the backyard of that house, and yeah, it got right into that time of year where it was so hot. This is the first year we have ever mowed without shirts. I never did it. A lot of people always said, you know, it's so unprofessional. We got more tips this year when people paid their bills online than I ever have in years past. Customers sent me text messages that me and the boys laughed about, saying, do I have to pay extra for the guys with no shirts? It worked out great for us, and we love it. Aww. Right back into the mowing. Like I said, we mowed all season with no shirts on. It was just completely different for us. It was so nice. We got the best hands of our lives, and we didn't care what anybody thought. We had more work than we knew what to do with. We were turning down so much work than we were even taking on. We didn't care. Customers didn't care. We didn't care what anybody was saying about us all around, saying we were unprofessional. We did it. We loved it. Customers didn't care.
Heat wave, tropical heat wave. You guys should record me doing my goofy dances one of these days.
Hey.
What? It's a family channel.
This ankle biter going
Why
on.
you always gotta touch me? At least buy me dinner first. Get off me.
So Conrad here doing his thing, going down the street from one property to the next. We mowed one, and he's headed down to mow another one right around the corner. That's how we do a lot of them, knock out multiples at the same time. Definitely helps with our route density, and definitely makes things a lot easier for us. So it allows us to get a lot more properties done. But this here is that hill where you saw I buried the mower. This was on another day, and just mowing it sideways, it is an insanely steep hill. I keep trying to get it on camera so you guys can see it, but no matter how I film it, it never looks that steep. It's pretty insane though. This hill is very, very steep. We tried multiple things this year to see how it would do. Regular tires, they would just slide on dry grass, but they work great on wet grass, whereas these wheels would do great on wet grass, but then slide on dry grass. It was kind of give or take. It didn't slide as much on dry grass. So all around, these are the wheels that we stuck with, and it made life interesting mowing these kinds of properties this year. But I loved them. We had a lot of fun, and I continue to do them, and I'll have them again for this 2023 season coming up. But at one point during the summer, we decided to go buy a bunch of kayaks. So me and Noah definitely spent a lot of time out kayaking. Billy went out with me a couple times. It was mostly just me and Noah. We both love kayaking. We had a lot of fun doing it. Just gave us something extra to do during the summer, so we weren't always doing the same thing. We did eventually buy pit bikes and dirt bikes and four-wheelers throughout the summer, but we definitely had a lot of fun out kayaking. We also got a jet ski where we put out a video or two of us on that as well. It was a lot of fun. Gave us just a lot more things to do throughout the summer, and it was definitely nice to be on the water. Anytime I can be on the water, I'm happy, so it worked out.
Is it cold?
I can touch the bottom. I'm standing.
Is it cold?
He won some tournament. He's not playing the Porter Cup. It wasn't. I texted him. I was like, "Yo, are you in the Porter Cup this year?" He goes, he's like, "No." I was like, "Well, is that some little event?"
What?
Why are you
Oh, I'm going
taking
golfing. Jersey hates being on camera. Billy!
You'll be in the video.
At Craig Glenn?
Yeah.
So like I said, we bought pit bikes, and we got Noah a little mini four-wheeler for his birthday, August, when he turned 11. He was definitely too big for the machine, but he had never ridden anything before, so I wanted him to get experience on something smaller that wasn't too fast. This thing would do about 35 miles an hour, and he grew out of it very quickly. Just got him a brand new four-wheeler for Christmas, which is a lot bigger than that one, and he has had a ton of fun on that. The one day he's ridden so far, we plan on going again this weekend, but all of us had a lot of fun. Me and Billy rode the crap out of those 70 SSR pit bikes. We've since got much bigger dirt bikes, and Billy bought a new four-wheeler, which is much bigger, and so we've done a ton of riding this year. Definitely had a lot of fun. We rode at least 2-3 days a week, sometimes almost every day, and it has definitely added another element to our fun and to the things we got to do over the summer. We have a lot of areas we get to go ride, so every chance we got, we were out riding. If we weren't working, we were out riding, more than likely, or we were on the kayaks or on the jet ski. So it was a lot of fun. But as any amount of fun happens in owning a business, there's work that comes right back into play. So it's right back to work every day, and we would work our butts off all day and then go back to playing at the end of the day. But we, all in all, would have just as much fun working and mowing because of our passion of doing it and what we love to do. And as many of you know, we acquired this Ferris sit-down zero turn over the summer as well. We got it from our church. They had it. It only had 600 hours on it, and definitely a smaller machine than what we're used to. Still at a 52-inch deck like all of our mowers have, but there's full videos on that, how we got it, what we paid for it, and what we've done to it since. But this right here started off Billy's day of doing the walk of shame 3 different times in one day because he refuses to check the fuel.
Alrighty. Well, so we're marking this one as number 2 for the day.
So this was a pretty fun day, and Billy was a total, I think, 3 times that day, 3 different machines where he did the walk of shame, which if any of you don't know, the walk of shame is when you leave the trailer with a mower, you go and you start mowing, get a couple passes in, and all of a sudden the machine stops because it runs out of fuel. So you gotta walk back to the trailer, get a gas can, walk back to where the mower is, fill it up so you can finish mowing. And Billy, like I said, had done it a number of times on this day. He definitely leads all of us in the amount of times he does the walk of shame. All the machines have fuel gauges on them except for that little right 32. But he just doesn't look at them. He doesn't pay attention. He gets in the lawn and he jumps on the mower and takes off and very seldomly checks to see if he has fuel. So over the summer, I broke the mounts that hold the deck on for the Toro, and like I said, we had so many accounts. I needed another new mower. I searched around everywhere. You guys know the deal for years. I swore I would never buy another right mower, but this was the only thing in any of the dealers that I go through. I look for a Skag, I look for a Walker, I look for a Toro, I look for an Exmark, Ferris, everything. Nobody had anything in stock. It's pretty much been the same everywhere this year. But they did have this Right Sport 52, so I bought it because I had no choice and I had to have another mower. I fell in love with this thing. It quickly became my favorite mower. The main reason I didn't like the Right mowers, as many of you know, is I didn't like the cut. They didn't cut the way I wanted to. They did change the design of the deck inside. You can get the full story if you go back and watch the video, but in short, the back side of the inside of the deck used to slope down from the top of the deck down to the point. It now has a 2-inch slope down and then goes straight down in the back. Just that little change changed everything about the way this machine cuts and how it handles northeast grasses. So it quickly became my favorite mower, and I used it the rest of the season. Absolutely love this mower, and I would have zero hesitation about buying another one. Billy's still not a fan of it. He doesn't like it. He loves the Skags. So the V-Ride 2 is what he remained on the rest of the season. It does still have an issue that it started to have halfway through the season. We thought we had fixed it by replacing very expensive bearings in the hand control that didn't fix it. So before spring, it will be going to the dealer, and I'm just going to let them fix it. What happens is the controls like to stick a lot. I initially thought it was the hydro going bad, and turns out a lot of other people had the problem, and they said it wasn't the hydro on either. So either way, it's going to go to the dealer. I'm going to let them fix it once and for all so that it's good to go for the season coming up. I definitely do need another new mower. The Skag V-Ride 2 was our newest mower, and in just, I believe, 3 short years, we put 1,000 hours in that machine. So it's time. But here's the Ferris we took on this field. This was a really good video if you go and you watch the whole thing. We took this on for a customer, and this video was more for showcasing the windstorm and other things you can do with it besides leaf cleanup than it was showcasing the Ferris. The Ferris did a phenomenal job, but it showed you how we can take 3 to 4 foot tall fields, cut them down, and then go over with the windstorm, blow it all to the woods if you have a wooded area there, and then just cut it one more time, do the same thing, hit it with the windstorm out of there. Sometimes we do one cut, blow it clean, and we're done, versus having to cut something down like that, bag the entire thing, or mulch it up multiple times. So we got behind again. This is one of our big apartment complexes. I called in my buddy Josh's mowing crew. This is Big Mike here, and we had Connor and Greg, the 3 guys that work for him. You've seen Big Mike in a bunch of my videos. You've also seen him in my GIE video for this year. Very good friend of mine. He's like family. I've always considered him a brother. I actually was just out to lunch with him today, and he came in with his crew and helped us get caught up on this big complex. Billy and I were so far behind, and we were facing a bunch of rain. So it was really nice to have multiple mowers on this property this day. We got it all knocked out, and we definitely made things happen. But thanks to Big Mike and his crew and Josh for letting them guys come and help us. We've done the same, gone and helped them a few different times. So one hand washes the other, so to speak, but we got it all done, and we had a lot of fun doing it.
Hey Mike, you know that's a felony? What the hell? Uh-oh, nudity on the channel. Hey Mike, you know that's a felony? A grown man holding a little boy's wiener?
So here we are back at it, and a lot of the clips you'll see the whole second half of the season is me on this right. I love this thing. I did this video here shortly after I got it. It was me mowing one of the sets of apartment complexes that we do, and a big, huge open area. It was me showcasing what the mower can do as far as striping, excuse me, and as far as the cut that it leaves. It does a great job, and it's a comfortable mower to ride, very compact, so you can fit it in all kinds of places. One of the things I really love about it, after running this mower for a few weeks, I had to jump on the V-Ride 2, and night and day difference. It felt so weird getting back on that V-Ride 2, because it just seems like you're in a Cadillac versus being on this right, because the front end sticks out so far. It's not nearly as compact as this right. So completely different feel in mowers, without a doubt. I do love this machine. Like I said, I just kept using it nonstop for the rest of the season, and it was definitely my go-to. This property here, certain parts of it we mow the same pattern every single week. It gets so boring mowing it the same way. I've actually had other companies text me and say, when are you going to change up your pattern at that property? The problem is the company that had it before us had it for years, and they mowed it the same way every single week, and never changed anything up. So we have tried mowing this in different patterns, and it's like driving over railroad ties, just because they never changed up their pattern. They've worn grooves in it, put ruts in it. So unfortunately, we're stuck mowing it the same way. I think next year I'm going to attempt to do a couple different patterns. I have a couple ideas. I'm going to see if it'll get any smoother, or if there's any way that's even feasible to do without beating the crap out of us and the machines. If it is, I'll get it switched up, but if not, we're going to be stuck mowing it the same way again. So it wasn't long before fall came along, apparently, and it was pulling that windstorm back out and doing what it does best, hitting those leaves, clearing properties. There ain't too many here, but we definitely, as the fall season went on, we didn't film a lot of the fall cleanups, just because we were so busy and so tied up. By this point in the season, Connor had quit and moved on to other things. That's when he started working for Josh and with Big Mike. And so it was down to me and Billy, so we just didn't have a lot of time to film. We tried to film as much as we possibly could, but you know, you get so busy, and fall cleanup season, you only have so much time to get things done before the snow starts coming. And there's always, like I mentioned earlier, there's always some fall cleanups you don't get to that become spring cleanups, but you want to try to get as many done as you possibly can. So Billy and I just kind of, put our minds right to it and just started knocking out everything we could, and carrying the camera just wasn't always an option a lot of the time. So, we had a lot of things to do, and a lot of big cleanups to do, and very little time to do it. So, and then we also had GIE, which we took a whole group of people with us at GIE. We did have a lot of fun. Me and Big Mike and Billy, we discussed it more at the end, Max as well, and we decided that next year we will definitely be more selective on what we do with GIE. We decided to take bigger groups of people, which, we did have a lot of fun while we were there, but in hindsight, we definitely should have kept it just to the original group that we had, and that's how we're going to do it moving forward. It's just going to be a boys' trip. Nothing against the girls that went with us, but we're going to stick it to just a boys' trip, and just, have a boys' getaway and do our thing. And we already have big plans, all of us, for going back down there for 2023. We never miss a year, and we will definitely be down there. But great group of people, and like I said, a lot of fun. We got to see a lot of different things. Big Mike was, Connor had gone with us last year. Big Mike has never been there, so he got to go on a lot of equipment he's never touched before. A lot of different mowers, a lot of other equipment, so it was definitely good for him. He got to experience a lot of different things he's never experienced before, and all around, it was just, it was a lot of fun for everybody, and a lot of things that we got to do that you don't normally get to do all year, and a lot of different pieces of equipment that you don't get to just hop on every day and run around and try out. So, you know, going to something like GIE allows you to do all of that. It's a big kid store, more or less, and big kid playground. You just get to play at everything and anything you want. So it was a lot of fun. And this was us walking in on day one, and nobody knew what to expect except for me, Billy, Max, and Connor, because we were the only ones that had been there before. So everybody else got to see a lot of things that was very new to them, and got to experience a lot of different things all the way around. So we did have a lot of fun. We got to have a lot of fun down at 4th Street Live, and we already are looking forward to next year, like I said. So it was definitely a good time for everybody.
Time you there, Big Mike.
No, we'll be good.
She's got a little pep in her step. 61-inch deck.
We're running.
We're running. Don't crash it.
No problem. Wait, no problem.
No promises.
So just a couple more little clips here. Thank you to all of you that have stayed for the long haul of this video. I'm going to end it with a night down at 4th Street Live. Look forward to 2023. Again, thank you guys so much for putting us over 20,000 subs this year. It has been a great year, and we have so much more to come.
Wait a minute. Jackson, we show up, show out.